Oh my goodness, welcome back. Here we are, it's the regular crew, just regular people over here. But it's good to be with you. That was an incredible game we just witnessed.
Wow.
Just insane.
Wow.
We're going to take you straight out to Milan, where the scenes have to be just incredible. Inter beating Barcelona. 7-6 on aggregate. Wow-wee. How does it feel over there?
Oh my God, let's get words for it. Extraordinary, unique, intense, noisy. Help me.
I mean, and more. I mean, 7 goals in this sequence, it's unbelievable. And, you know, there is a surname that we have in Italy for Inter that is crazy in a good way. And I think craziness happened tonight, of course, in favor of Inter, because the sequence of the goals and the emotion that they're going through up and down is unbelievable. It's crazy.
You know, it reminds me of when actually you play in the streets until the sun goes down, or your mom tells you to come for dinner. It's like, no, we want to play some more. It was that kind of game. Let's attack, now you attack, now you attack.
Yeah, they face each other with open mind, and they want to score one more, and Barcelona has a chance to score the 4th goal, hitting the post with Yamal. And then the next play, Inter draw, and what, 30 seconds before the end of the game, without Cherby with the right foot. I mean, that's something really unbelievable, and this is the beauty of this kind of a game and then the Champions League, actually.
You don't explain this game with tactics, you explain it with emotions.
Is that one of the best games you've ever seen live? Talk to me. The atmosphere looked insane.
Of course, and the energy, you know, the energy sweeps from first to second half. On the first half, everything towards Inter. You know, the energy level was great, the opportunity, the confidence, and then second half, all Barcelona. Then came back with 3 goals actually, and almost that close to finish the finish line, to cross the finish line.
This was similar to Istanbul, AC Milan, Liverpool final, some of the comebacks from Real Madrid, of course, at the Santiago Bernabeu. But this happened twice. It happened in Montjuic and here.
World Cup final. And
World Cup final with
Qatar.
hat-trick of Mbappé.
Those kind of games that you never know what's happened next. That's unbelievable.
Inter actually had conceded 5 goals before meeting Barcelona, and they've conceded 6 goals in 2 games. And the Barcelona fans are very proud of what has happened. The players went to the fans to congratulate them, and vice versa, because they've seen something extraordinary. You can see the celebrations behind us quite clearly. Nobody wants to go home. I think we should call somebody to talk to you and then explain what's happening here.
Look, I was saying it off air. I've been bored watching football recently in the past 1 or 2 years. I'll be honest with you, bored. So thank you, Inter, and thank you, Barcelona.
Bored in what way, Thierry?
Not saying what I've seen tonight. It doesn't mean that you play low block, that you have to be boring with it. It doesn't mean also that you know, playing high. Obviously, it's easier to counter because you're high. There's going to be space. I'm just saying that tonight, that's why I love football. That's why we all love football. That's what we want to see. We want to see teams going at each other, being open, playing. What we've seen, and Alessandro said it, home and away. Usually you have a team has a good game, then you have a comeback. We've seen the same game. I mean, come on. Rafinha, you think that he won it. Acerbi thinks he brought his team back into the... no, not he thinks. We're going to extra time, and Lamine Yamal can actually win it at the very end, and he doesn't. But again, I will say it. Thank you. This is why we love football. So thank you, Inzaghi. Thank you, Flick. Thank you, everybody that was involved in this game. Because recently I've been bored watching games. And I don't know what you think. Jamie, I don't know if you guys were also bored watching games. I was. And I wasn't when they played at Montjuic.
No, I agree with you, Thierry. What I would say is, though, in the Champions League, I do believe the semi-final stage of the Champions League, if you look back in history, they are some of the biggest moments in football. Sometimes a final can let you down because there's so much nerves and tension. But sometimes, you know, with a 2-legged affair, playing in your own stadium, I think if you look back in history of the Champions League, semi-finals are probably some of the most entertaining and highest quality of games I think you'll ever see in football. And this is right up there. And not right up there. This is arguably one of the best, if not the best we've seen in the Champions League era. It was that good, both sides. And that man there does not deserve to be on the losing side. Listen, nobody deserves to be on the losing side, but especially him when you consider how young he was. He was fantastic in both legs, and again, he was the man who almost won it for Barcelona late on in normal time and almost got Barcelona back into the game at the end of extra time. The man is an absolute superstar, and the one tinge of sadness is that when we're in Munich, we won't be watching Yamal.
Oh, so just a Beckham
No, everybody.
Oh my God!
You made sure that the glass wasn't going to go. Look at you.
That is one of the.
This is one of the
best
best
I
I
have
have seen.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Home and away.
Yeah.
Best I.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jamie, you had the best final that I've seen. I'll give you that. I said it so many times. I've seen games. I mean, it's not obviously. Alessandro talked about the World Cup final, but home and away. I don't remember a tie like that. Not only the goals, the intensity, what we saw, how they played, the character, the desire. Guys played injured. They played through cramps, played through everything. Well done.
I don't know, obviously someone will have the stats, but it was just when I think it was Dumfries said about how many goals were in the 13 goals, so 7-6. I actually played in the semi-final. I don't know what you're laughing at, Kate.
His lips, the stain. I know.
It's not my lips.
No, it's because you have wine.
I'm trying to make a serious point here.
I know you're right, but it's true. I'm looking at your lips and my eyes. I'm losing my eyesight. It's like I'm looking at it. I'm like, why are your lips so red?
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, go ahead.
Give my lips the flowers.
Look at this. That's what I'm saying.
Oh dear. You don't really, as a player, get the time to digest a result like that. I guess you have to kind of keep on moving to some extent. But the night after, how does that feel?
You feel like you're in that you kind of asking yourself, did that happen? You know, when you wake up and you lose a game like that, like I've been in that situation, losing a World Cup final, Champions League final, or semi-final, or whatever it is, and you wake up and you're like, did that happen? Did that happen? Did I dream that, or not a dream, actually, nightmare? You know, it's tough. But the game that you want, in order to make sure that you don't stay too long with it, is to play Real Madrid. That's the game that you want, because the town will put you back into it. The situation in the league will put you back into it, and it's the Clásico. That's what you want, and we're going to find out if you're okay or not straight away. Because the other game, as you can see, and we saw before, but look, it's 4 points. You can almost do it by winning there, especially against your arch rival, as we all know. But yeah. Look at that you don't sleep, by the way. I don't know if they're going to sleep tonight. First and foremost, even when you win, you don't sleep because you're too excited. But when you lose...
Did you watch the game back, Thierry? You know, when you go back to your hotel room and you say you can't sleep.
I never watched the Champions League final I lost against Barcelona. I never watched the World Cup or the final I lost against Italy. That's why when Guillaume asked those questions, you can see he never played. Those questions, who's going to watch... Are you going to watch the game that you lost? No, you're not going to watch the game.
I've never watched the Champions League final 2007.
You just don't.
I've never seen that.
It's too hard.
I think you look at someone like Frenkie de Jong, and Barca got some great players, but we all know the Champions League is very hard to win, no matter how good a player you are anyway. Sometimes it is just, you need luck. You need luck. The luck wasn't with them. I mean, they'd be thinking about that goal from a Serbian, just thinking how. We're in the Champions League final if that moment doesn't happen. But this happens every year in the Champions League, 2 teams. And that's why I always say the best team doesn't always necessarily win the Champions League, because there's a cup competition, things like that can happen. So you need a bit of luck in this competition. And he'll be thinking, he's a great player, great midfield player. He'll be thinking, how many chances am I going to get to be in that position? A minute to go. I'm in a Champions League final. You know, it's just the margins are so fine.
There's actually one question, tactically. You know, like the game, Acerbi comes from centre-half and scores a goal. You played a low block, as it were. How on God's earth have Inter had a chance in the 93rd minute when Barcelona going to win the game?
Well, to be honest, when I looked at the goal again, and obviously because there's that many goals, we probably haven't got time to fully analyse all the goals, because there's so many in the game. But it's a long ball. It ends up being like a 4v4. Really.
How would that happen?
But maybe it's because Barcelona have got possession. You lose the ball, the keeper goes long or something. I'm not quite sure. But again...
The long ball that they lost in the air, Marcus Thuram barged the centre-back away, ball falls on him, and then Acerbi just went up to flick the ball as you would. You know, we've seen Van Dijk.
But they
do
didn't
it.
have sort of 7 or 8 players back as most teams. If that was
Exactly.
No, you would have
that's
been,
the
yeah,
point,
but
yeah.
still go and put pressure on the
man.
long ball. You got done. I'm thinking, sorry to cut you, by the way, Jamie, but I was thinking about Frankie de Jong. I think Frankie de Jong was part of that Ajax team losing against Tottenham also.
Yes.
The Lucas Moura. That's twice for him.
Great point.
That's twice for him. Frankie de Jong has to see that, has to feel that. We all remember what happened. I was devastated that night because of Tottenham going through. But yeah, it's if you're in that situation, Frankie de Jong, that's twice that happens to you.
That's why it's so hard to win.
Can we say that a better team won tonight? Is that even possible to separate them in that sense, or how do you?
I think whoever went through tonight, you'd say they deserved it, and the other team were unlucky. I think if your Mal scores late on, we say Barcelona deserved it, Inter Milan were unlucky. It was a great game. They won't feel it right now, Barcelona, but maybe if they can win the league and they can relax in the summer, okay, we've got the league, and we can maybe look back at these 2 games and say, you know what? That's great experiences going forward with a young team. It was a great game that everybody's talking about. It's almost like one of those great boxing matches that the one fighter who comes the wrong side of it, but he can still almost look back and think, I was part of a great fight. You can't feel that right now, but maybe in time you'll look back.
Like the one we saw the other
Conor
day.
Ben, Chris Eubank, yeah.
Chris Eubank, everyone was like, thank you for bringing boxing back.